प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं साईशचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं साईशचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं ब्रह्मानन्द प्रदायक चरणं ब्रह्मानन्द प्रदायक चरणं शरणं शरणं साईशचरणं शरणं शरणं साईशचरणं प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं साईशचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं ब्रह्मानन्द प्रदायक चरणं शरणं शरणं साईशचरणं शरणं शरणं साईशचरणं प्रातस्मरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं
Calling God by any name, every prayer's heard just the same. All are equal in His eyes. Who are we to criticize? Unity must be our aim. Loving God by any name. God is here within us all, and we only have to call. We must listen carefully. He will give us what we need. Each of us He hears the same, calling God by any name. Sai Baba Jesus Christ, Sai Ram Buddha. Calling God by any name, every prayer's heard just the same. All are equal in His eyes. Who are we to criticize? Unity must be our aim, loving God by any name. God is here within us all, and we only have to call. We must listen carefully. He will give us what we need. Each of us He hears the same, calling God by any name. Sai Baba, Jesus Christ, Sai Ram, Hallelujah. He hears however called, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, calling God by any name.
There was no one to know who I am. Till I created this world at my pleasure with one word. Immediately mountains rose up. Immediately rivers started running. Earth below and sky over its head. Ocean, seas, lands and watersheds. Sun, moon and desert sand sprang up from nowhere to prove my existence. Came all forms of human beings, mankind, beasts and birds flying, speaking, hearing, and all powers were bestowed upon them under my orders. The first place was granted to mankind, and my knowledge was placed in his mind. Come one, come all, let us not be ungrateful called. Let us faithfully serve Sai, him, and love him, love him, love him.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्
जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदः स नः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वानावेव सिन्धुम् दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णाम् तपसा ज्वलन्तीम् वैरोचनीम् कर्मफलेषु जुष्टाम् दुर्गाम् देवीम् शरणमहम् प्रपद्ये सुतरसितरसे नमः अग्ने त्वम् पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पूश्च पृथ्वे बहुलान उर्वे भवातोकायतनयाय संयोः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुम् ननावादुरितादिवर्षे अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानो स्माकम् बोध्यविदा तनूना प्रदनाजितगुम् सावानमुग्रमग्निगुम् भुवेम परमा सदस्तात् स नः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वाक्ष्यामध्येवो अधिदुरितात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषि कमेड्यो अध्वरेषु सनाच्च होतानव्यस्य चत्से स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवम् विप्रयस्वास्मभ्यम् च सौभगमायजस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निषिक्तम् तवेन्द्रविष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमपि संवसानो वैष्णवीम् लोकमिहमादयन्त कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच।
नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि। बिस्मिल्लाह अर्रहमान अर्रहीम बिस्मिल्लाह अर्रहमान अर्रहीम बिस्मिल्लाह अर्रहमान अर्रहीम ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह।
O Lord, take my love and let it flow in fullness of devotion to Thee. O Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for Thee. O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee. O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with Thee. O Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument to work.
Gajavadana
जय जय गुरुदेवा श्री साई महादेवा।
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 ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वरा साई महादेवा।
विष्णु महेश्वरा साई महादेवा।
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वरा साई महादेवा।
विष्णु महेश्वरा साई महादेवा।
माता पिता गुरुदेवा श्री 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 साई महादेवा।
जय जय 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 गुरुदेवा श्री साई महादेवा।
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वरा साई महादेवा।
विष्णु महेश्वरा साई महादेवा।
माता पिता गुरुदेवा श्री 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 साई महादेवा।
जय जय गुरुदेवा श्री साई महादेवा।
माता रानी तेरे
रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
शेरावाली माँ जोतावाली,
माँ शेरावाली, माँ जोतावाली,
शेरावाली माँ जोतावाली,
माँ शेरावाली, माँ जोतावाली,
पहाड़ावाली माँ रातावाली,
पहाड़ावाली, माँ रातावाली,
पहाड़ावाली माँ रातावाली,
पहाड़ावाली, माँ रातावाली।
प्रेम से बोलो
जय माता दी,
हाथ से बोलो
जय माता दी,
सब मिल बोलो
जय माता दी,
प्रेम से बोलो
जय माता दी,
हाथ से बोलो
जय माता दी,
सब मिल बोलो
जय माता दी।
माता रानी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी जय जयकार।
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 माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
माँ शेरावाली माँ जोतावाली,
माँ शेरावाली, माँ जोतावाली,
पहाड़ावाली माँ रातावाली,
पहाड़ावाली, माँ रातावाली।
प्रेम से बोलो
जय माता दी,
हाथ से बोलो
जय माता दी,
सब मिल बोलो
जय माता दी,
प्रेम से बोलो
जय माता दी,
हाथ से बोलो
जय माता दी,
सब मिल बोलो
जय माता दी।
माता रानी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी जय जयकार।
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 माता रानी तेरी जय जयकार, अम्बे रानी तेरी जय जयकार।
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
जयतु जयतु रामा जननी जानकी रामा 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 जनन मरण भय क्लेश विनाशक 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 रघुपति सीता रामा रामा रामेति रामा रघुपति
Swami. So we told Mr. Bala about it, and he was very happy, and all of us were very happy. And Florence went to Puttaparthi. I wrote a letter. I remember I wrote a letter to Swami, and Florence took it to Swami. She took it to Puttaparthi to Swami, and she I think she called me. I can't remember exactly what she did. I think she did call me from Puttaparthi and said, Godfrey, you know what? Give all your letters to Swami. So at that time, I think in Puttaparthi, they used to take pictures. There were people who used to take pictures for people. And when you were leaving the Mandir, you could get those pictures and bring them with you. So Florence brought this picture when she was handing over the letters to Swami. And I still she came back, gave me the picture, and I still have the picture. So that was my second miracle with Swami.
Have you ever been to Puttaparthi?
I have been to Puttaparthi twice, and yeah, same thing like that happened to me again, because when we went to Puttaparthi, we went with the Bedford Sai Center group, and I think Uncle Keith said, Godfrey is going to take our letters, because I think the Swami would take our letters from Godfrey. Let us give them to Godfrey. And Uncle Keith gave me all the letters. We collected all the letters we had in the group. I think we went about 10, 11 people, something like that. So they collected all the letters, and I had all the letters. And on that fortunate day, Swami came in and stopped by me here. Swami stopped by me here, and I gave all the letters to Swami. And yeah, it was really very good.
Did you go inside the Baba's interview room ever?
No, I didn't. Okay. No, I did not. I would not get an interview. So after that, I myself moved from North London to South London. The same friend, Charles, with whom we had got Mr. Bala, is a very witty chap. He's a very clever man. At the moment, he works with the Inland Revenue in Edinburgh. He's a very, very clever man. And he had secured a job in one company, I can't remember now, but it was in Kent. And he rang me and said, Godfrey, are you still in North London? What are you doing? You come. And so I followed him. So I followed him and left North London and went to South London. And I lived in Plumstead at the time. But like any side devotee, when you get to a new place, what you look for first is a Sai center. So I did ask people, what is the nearest Sai center here? And they said Woolwich at the time. So they said Woolwich. I said, okay. And what time do they congregate for bhajans there? It was a Thursday, every Thursday evening. We used to meet every Thursday evening for bhajans. So I started attending Woolwich Sai Center. I can't remember exactly the year, but it might have been 1991, 1992, something like that. And on one evening, when we were having bhajans, there was a young man, a boy really, a young Sai devotee, and he sang a bhajan, which I loved so much. And I loved so much, I don't know why, but I loved the bhajan so much. And yeah, I think it stopped there. I just loved the bhajan so much.
Do you remember that bhajan?
Yeah, I do remember that bhajan.
Do you want to sing a little of that?
I will sing it today. Yeah. So I went to work. I think a few days passed. 1, 2, 3, 4 days passed. And then one night, Swami came in a dream. And the Swami asked me, Godfrey, tell me, what bhajan did you love so much? And which bhajan did you want to learn? And I said to Swami, I can't remember. I don't even know the words. And Swami said, Godfrey, when you were little and in school, you were very good at geography. Tell me now, what is the capital city of Albania? And I said, Tirana, Swami. And the Swami disappeared the moment I said Tirana, Swami disappeared. But when Swami disappeared, I tried to look up to see where Swami was, and he had disappeared. But when I looked up, I had the bhajan humming in my heart, and it was Tirana ek Sahara, Tirana ek Sahara, Tirana ek Sahara. So I woke up, I woke up and I was so surprised. How can this happen? Because I remember I learned all the bhajans in a go. How does he know this? How does it? So I started asking myself how. And at some point, I got to a point when I started to get worried about the Swami. I said, what am I doing? What am I into? What is this? And after that miracle happening, after a few days, Swami came back in the dream and said, but Godfrey, you are worried so much for nothing. I told you, I know you, and I know you, and I know you very, very well. Why are the 3 U's as a letter U? And the Swami said, why the 3 U's? And the Swami disappeared again in the dream. So I woke up, and this time I'm starting to get seriously worried about Swami. So what is this? Is it some Indian magic or what is this? You know, the problem is when we grow up as younger people back in Uganda, you hear stories about ghosts and spirits, things like that. And because I come from a very staunch Catholic Christian family, so they talk a lot about false prophets as well. So you get worried about, oh, what is this that I'm dealing with? Anyway, after that, Swami came back in the dream and said, God, you worried for nothing. I said to you, I know you very, very well. Now, don't get worried. The 3 U's is because you were born in Uganda and you studied in Ukraine, because I went to Kiev University in the Ukraine. And you are living in the UK, the United Kingdom. so this is Sai Baba. Now I started to believe that I cannot escape him. That's why I said in the beginning of my story that for me it looks like it's the other way around. How Swami picked me up. And now I started to believe Swami. I started to seriously get involved in bhajans, doing things and reading his books. I read and read and read. I determined myself to read about Swami and get to know him. And I read all the Siva Mashatnam Sundarams, all of them. I read extensively about Swami. And yes, and then one day again, one night, Swami came back and said, "Okay, you seem to think that maybe Swami is not God, but you know, God has been coming to the world in human form for a long time." Then Swami talked about Dwaraka. Swami talked about Jesus in Bethlehem. So he talked about a lot, and he said, "No, Godfrey, it's not new. This has been happening, but many people don't know. Many people are not aware, but God is here."
God of love, fill my heart with your treasure. Let me share, let me care, let me love without measure. Father of love, let me be like you, kind and true forever. God got me waking or sleeping. Father of light, got me every day, all the way forever. God of light, lead me onwards forever. Father of light, got me every day, all the way forever. God of light, lead me onwards forever.
ఈ విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క ఏకత్వంలో మనం ప్రవేశపెట్టాలి.
And we have to get into this field of oneness.
ఎవరేమనుకున్నప్పటికీ మనం దానికి ఏమాత్రం కూడా జంకకూడదు.
Let anyone think as they like, but don't be bothered of it.
ధర్మరాజు
మహాసభ
లోపల కూర్చున్నాడు.
He sat there in his court.
దుర్యోధనుడు ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టుగా చెప్తున్నాడు.
Duryodhana was speaking as he liked.
కట్టకడపటికి కృష్ణుడిని నిందిస్తూ వచ్చాడు.
And he went on blaming even Krishna.
అగ్రతాంబూలం ఇవ్వడానికి కృష్ణుడికి
And Krishna has no authority, deserved this.
కృష్ణుడు అగ్రతాంబూలం తీసుకోవడానికి అర్హుడే కాదు.
He said Krishna is not eligible to receive.
అని అనేక రకములుగా దూషించాడు.
And he went on accusing him.
అప్పుడు
Then
ధర్మజుడు చాలా బాధపడ్డాడు.
Dharmaja felt so sad.
నా ప్రభువును ఇంత గొప్ప సభ లోపల ఈ విధంగా తుచ్చంగా దూషిస్తున్నాడే.
My Lord is criticized openly in this public court. He felt so sad.
వీడికి దూషించే అధికారం ఎక్కడుంది?
What right has he?
ఇది కేవలము పర్సనల్ డిసప్పాయింట్ యొక్క రోగమే.
That's all the reflection of his personal disappointment.
కనుకనే ఈ యొక్క పర్సనల్ డిసప్పాయింట్కి వచ్చినటువంటి రోగానికి తగినటువంటి మందు ఇవ్వాలి.
Therefore he should be cured from the disease that has come up because of the personal disappointment.
ధర్మజుడు కృష్ణుని పాదాలు పట్టుకున్నాడు.
Dharmaja caught hold of the feet of Krishna.
కృష్ణ ఈ విధంగా దూషిస్తుంటే మీరు ఎంత చిరునవ్వు నవ్వుతున్నారు.
When he was just blaming you, you are smiling.
కానీ మీకు నవ్వు వస్తుందేమో కానీ నాకు చాలా దుఃఖంగా ఉంది అన్నాడు.
You may smile, but I feel like crying.
పిచ్చివాడా ధర్మజ.
Oh bad cat.
దూషణ భూషణ తిరస్కార పురస్కారములన్నీ కూడాను దేహమునికే కానీ నాకు కాదు.
The praise and the blame belong to the body, but not to the self.
ఈ దూషణ భూషణ తిరస్కారాలకు మనం ఎందుకు లొంగాలి?
The acceptance or the denial or the praise or blame.
మనమే మన దేహాన్ని దూషించుకుంటుంటాం.
In fact, we have to criticize our body.
నాకు అన్ని రోగములు చెగుతున్నాయే అని దేహాన్ని మనమే దూషిస్తున్నాం.
In fact, we feel so bad of our body, full of affliction.
నీ దేహాన్ని నీవు దూషిస్తుంటున్నప్పుడు ఇతరులు నీ దేహాన్ని దూషించడం నీకు సహాయమే చేసిన వారు అవుతారు.
When your body is not acceptable to you, being full of affliction,
నీకు అపకారం చేసిన వారు
others by criticizing you are helping you.
నీకు తోడు నీడైన వాడు.
And in fact, they help you.
అప్పుడు ధర్మజుడు చాలా ఆనందాన్ని పొంది స్వామి ఇలాంటి ప్రబోధనలు చేసేటువంటి వారు లేకపోవటం చేతనే లోకంలో అనేక మంది ఈ రకమైనటువంటి అజ్ఞానంలో మునిగిపోతున్నారు.
Dharmaja said, there are none to give that beautiful spiritual teachings to everybody. Therefore all are ignorant.
हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो 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 हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो शम्भो शिव शङ्कर शम्भो शिव शङ्कर शम्भो साई शिव शङ्कर शम्भो हे शिव शङ्कर नमामि शङ्कर शिव शङ्कर शम्भो
ॐ तत्सत् श्रीनारायण तु बुद्ध तु स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तु सविता पावक तु ब्रह्मवस्व तु यमवशक्ति तु येसु पिता प्रभु तु रुद्र विश्व तु राम कृष्ण तु रहीमताऊ तू रहीमताऊ तू वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तू चिदानंद हरि तू अद्वितीय तू अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तू आत्मलिंग शिव तू आत्मलिंग शिव तू
आसतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पते महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपदे स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपदे आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद बांधवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता गुरुदैवमु मर्यन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मर्यन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंदु అందుకో మంగళ హారతి అందుకో మందర గిరిధారి ఓం జయ జగదీశ హరే నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం జయ సద్గురుదేవా నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం జయ సద్గురుదేవా నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం నారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం సత్యనారాయణ నారాయణ ఓం జయ సద్గురుదేవా शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थइष्टार्थमोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि sacred holy and supreme is Baba's vibhutim pouring forth in sacred stream displayed of vibhutim so auspicious is His mind it grants liberation Baba's vibhutim His power protects me paramam pavitram Baba vibhutim paramam vichitram leela vibhutim paramarthaishtarthamokshapradanam Baba vibhutim idamashayami Baba vibhutim idamashayami Baba vibhutim idamashayami Mangalam Gurudevaya Mangalam Jnanadayine Mangalam Parthivasaya Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Sairam, everyone, and good morning. We start with a prayer to Swami for the grace that he bestows upon us, the protection he gives us, and of course the guidance through our lives. I want to thank Godfrey for another amazing episode. Godfrey, that was really interesting, really, really interesting. We look forward to the next week's installment where you'll be continuing. Thank you for that, Godfrey. In terms of announcements, we have a very important study circle on Monday, facilitated by Anand. And many of you will know that Anand is, at a totally different level spiritually. So it'll be a very good event. I hope all of you will be there because I'm going to take the register. So do turn up 7 o'clock Monday, and Anil has sent the link and it's also in the announcements. Next thing is the questionnaire on opening up our Sai Center. This is the last week we're going to run the questionnaire. It will be shut down at midnight on Wednesday. So if you haven't filled it, please do that now. Also, it's important that all the adults in a household fill it. It's just not, one person in the household. All the adults who potentially could be coming to our Sai Center, please fill up that questionnaire. Next thing is outreach. There's a health webinar on Tuesday on vaccinations at 8 o'clock. And again, the details are in the announcements. Next, we have Kumar's appeal. This is Kumar Kadrimale, not our Doc Kumar, in London, looking for scarves for the homeless for Christmas. This is something they do each year, and I know several of our devotees have been taking part in this seva. If you do buy a scarf, please contact Godfrey, who will collate all of them, and we'll find a means of getting them to London. And finally, we're in a bit of a crisis with this fuel, and I'm going to share some intelligence with you. So everybody listen carefully, because I'm going to tell you where you can get fuel without a queue. Let me see who's here. Suraj, are you listening carefully? Suraj?
Yes, Suresh bhai.
Excellent. Welcome back from India.
Thank you.
All right,
very
everyone. You had a good time there, Suraj?
much. Yeah. Nearly 5.5 months being
I
with
know
the family.
you sort of. I know you didn't want to come back. I heard, but what to do? We have to do our jobs. Anyway, listen, everyone. I found out there's a petrol station which has a sort of pipeline to an oil well, so they never run out of fuel. And the way to avoid the queue is to turn up at 3:30 in the morning. You have to set your alarm, turn up at 3:30 in the morning. And this petrol station is the BP petrol station on the Kingston roundabout. To go to junction 13, you go down the 421. It's that big BP petrol station. So turn up at 3:30 in the morning and you're pretty sure of getting fuel without a queue. So do tell your friends. And I just hope this, Boris sorts out this mess. But in the meantime, turn up there at 3:30 and you're sure to fill up your car. Right. Anil, anything else to say? Anil?
Nothing.
Nothing. Seelan, I believe you have a guru's meeting. You want to update us on that?
Yeah, it's just our first meeting for the year, where all the gurus will get together and we'll just, set the scene for what's going to happen for the rest of the year.
Okay, good. All right, so I will catch up with you all next Sunday. Meanwhile, have a good week and take care of yourselves. Sairam.
Sairam.
Sairam, everyone.
Sairam, everyone.
Sairam. Bye.